So I arrived in Donegal yesterday and the weather was absolutely atrocious. We've had nothing but mist, rain, fog, haze, you name it, and didn't even get an opportunity to get the camera out really until today. This morning at dawn might as well not have even existed because you couldn't even see that there was any difference in the night time or anything like that. It was just so bleak and dark. So finally had a small bit of a clearing here, you can probably see in the background. So we took the opportunity to head up to the most northerly point of Ireland, which is Malin Head. And this area here is quite windy and it is extremely rugged as well. It's battered by storms on a regular basis, and even with me standing here right now you can see that my hood I think has been blown behind me and the wind is coming in quite strong at the moment. I'm on the headland, I have my camera set up, I have taken some shots just to make sure because the light it was so short window doing it in between the raindrops, and hopefully this will be the start of things to come and how the weekend will now continue on. It's been a dull start yesterday. We had all intents and purposes of going to shoot Dunluce Castle in Antrim and also the Giant's Causeway, but couldn't even get out of the car yesterday with the rain, it was so bad. Headed to Malin last night. We're in a camper van, there's myself and two others, and we parked up here in Malin Head last night to be ready for this morning to be able to shoot right from the get-go. And so far, just after getting out here, it's amazing scenery. I'll give you a look. As you can see here, this is two sea stacks and also a bit of a peninsula that's sticking out here, and the waves are coming in quite ferociously over the rocks, and they're giving a lovely effect to the image. So finally I think we'll have gotten one image. Hopefully I'll be able to post it after this, that it will be one that I'll be happy with. Have to contend with regularly wiping my filters and lenses because the amount of sea spray that's coming in from the prevailing wind. But for now anyway, that's what we're looking at. That's my image, and hopefully it'll be one that I can show. And then onwards to the next direction, or the next location actually today. So our journey continues here, and we are now at Fanad Lighthouse at Fanad Head, Fanad Point, and the weather has decided to play ball with us so far anyway for today since this morning, and it hasn't rained since. It is kind of overcast, but there is a bit of nice light that's coming through, and I've decided that I wanted to get the pretty much stereotypical shot of Fanad because I've never been here before. I don't know if I'm going to be here again. It's quite a far journey from Cork. But got my camera set up, and I'm going for a very long exposure at the moment. I want to be able to capture a kind of a mystic feel and in the water, so I'm using a Lee big stopper, which gives me 10 extra stops of exposure, and it does deliver a interesting image when the finished result has come. As I'm taking this image right now, I can see that there's raindrops now reappearing, so it seems that a moment ago my good fortune in regards to the weather might actually have been a bit premature. So I'll give you a quick look at what I've got set up here. So here is the lighthouse in front of me. Here's my camera, and I'm utilizing the leading line of the steps that are over here plus the steps up to the lighthouse, and I'm not using the typical, again I suppose, you know, looking for colourful light. This is during the day, it's around 2:30, and I'm using the big stopper because it gives me the opportunity to have a longer exposure. Great movement on the water as well, against on the rocks below, and I think what I will do from here is experiment with a couple of new compositions once I do get the, like I say, stereotypical image done and dusted. So for now, that's a quick check-in in Fanad Lighthouse, and I'll check in again shortly. So it finally looks like Mother Nature is going to give us some nice light on this photography trip. Where we've ended up right now for sunset is the Great Pollet Sea Arch, which is just down from Fanad and Fanad Head from where I was earlier. And The scene behind me here, you can see that you've got this arch here, and the sun is setting actually behind the hill up here, so it should actually light up the sky in the background as well. So it's going to be an interesting shoot. I just finished doing a long exposure there, and I'll have a quick look and see if it's turned out. So here is the image. It's flashing there, telling me that the sky is slightly overexposed, so I'll just slightly change that, but that gives a nice mystical look again to the movement in the water, and it kind of creates and brings the scene to life. So that's the image there on the back of the camera, and I hopefully will check in again when this light really does come to life. It looks like it's about to, so we'll see in a moment. So our photography trip around Donegal continues today on day 3, and we've just arrived here in the Poison Glen. It's an area close to Errigal in Donegal, and we've just arrived to an old church there, which is Dunlewy Church, and it's been around since 18th century or 17th century, I think, or maybe something like that, 1853 I think. And the church itself is buried right in the middle of a glen here, overlooking Dunlewy Lake, and just up here behind me here you can see is Errigal. And Errigal is a very good location to shoot, and it is one that I think we're going to shoot a lot of over the coming hours, because we'll be basing ourselves here for the remainder of the trip in this area anyway, at least. So I'm going to get a couple of shots and get set up, and hopefully we can get some interesting shots from this location on this trip. The penultimate location here on this weekend in Donegal, and the weather has been atrocious most of the time. The odd time, alright, we got a bit of light, we were able to shoot. Right now we are at a reservoir area on the base of Errigal, so after coming from the church that we were at earlier on, and the water level is quite high here, and there's a couple of trees that are flooded by the water, so it does give a very nice image when you take the shot. And if I show you here what I'm looking at, this is the view that we have in front of us here, which is Errigal, and there's some nice light there appearing just on the right hand side of the mountain. So hopefully the light and the conditions will prevail. We were here a moment ago as well, and the heavens just opened and we got absolutely soaked. So hopefully it doesn't happen again now, because it's been twice in one day. Getting drenched by this weather is difficult to deal with at the best of times. Here's the image that I have and my composition. So I've got Errigal, and I've got the 2 bits of trees that are remaining in the water. And I'm hoping that the wind will just disappear for a brief moment, so I'll be able to get a better reflection of Errigal in the water. So yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully, as I said, the light will get better. We're probably going to stay here for the remainder, and that will be that. Okay. We're still here at the base of Errigal, at the reservoir we were at yesterday evening, Didn't get any luck for the sunset, unfortunately. The rain won through again. Even if you look at me here right now, you can tell that it's quite cold. We're well wrapped up here from the snow that's fallen overnight. What that has done is it's presented us with a very nice image in front of the Errigal mountain, and I'll show you what we're looking at here. So you can see the snow all along the reservoir bank that's here, and the Errigal mountain is covered in snow, and in the distance here you can see that there's snow on the peaks of the mountains in the far distance as well. So hopefully when the sun does decide to pop up, we're at pre-dawn here, or just after dawn actually. So when the sun does pop up, we're hoping that we get a bit of colour on the cloud that's sitting on top of Errigal. But for now, I'll just check out, try and keep it a bit warm, and hopefully we'll check back in again. So the sunrise has come and gone. As you can see behind me here, we did get a nice bit of light, but no major light on the subject that we wanted to shoot, being Errigal. So probably going to be the end of my video blog here for this weekend. A weekend really where the weather played a big part in whether or not we were able to shoot any good images or even shoot at all. So until the next one, I'll be signing out.